Mark Robert Michael Wahlberg, born June 5, 1971, is an American actor, producer, businessman, and former model and rapper. He was known as Marky Mark in his earlier years, as frontman with the band Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, releasing the albums Music for the People and You Gotta Believe. Wahlberg later transitioned to acting, appearing in films such as the drama Boogie Nights and the satirical war comedy drama Three Kings during the 1990s. In the 2000s, he starred in the biographical disaster drama The Perfect Storm, the science fiction film Planet of the Apes, and the Martin Scorsese-directed neo-noir crime drama The Departed. In the 2010s, he starred in the action comedy The Other Guys alongside Will Ferrell, the biographical sports drama The Fighter, the comedy Ted, the war film Lone Survivor, and the sci-fi action film Transformers: Age of Extinction. Wahlberg has also served as executive producer of 4 HBO series, the comedy drama Entourage, 2004-11, the period crime drama Boardwalk Empire, 2009-14, as well as How to Make It in America and Ballers. He is co-owner of the Wahlburgers chain and co-stars in the reality TV series About It. Wahlberg received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on July 29, 2010. Early life. Wahlberg was born in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts, the youngest of 9 children, including actor Robert and actor-singer Donnie. His mother, Alma Elaine Donnelly, was a bank clerk and a nurse's aide, and his father, Donald E. Wahlberg, was a delivery driver. His parents divorced in 1982, and from that moment he divided his time between them. His father was of Swedish and Irish descent, and his mother is of Irish, English, and French-Canadian ancestry. Maternally, Wahlberg is distantly related to author Nathaniel Hawthorne. Wahlberg had a Roman Catholic upbringing and attended Copley Square High School, but never graduated, on Newbury Street in Boston. He received his high school diploma in June 2013. Arrests. By age 13, Wahlberg had developed an addiction to cocaine and other substances. At 15, civil action was filed against him for his involvement in 2 separate incidents of harassing African American children. The first were siblings, and the second incident was a group of black school children on a field trip, by throwing rocks and shouting racial epithets. At 16, Wahlberg approached a middle-aged Vietnamese man named Ton Lam on the street and, using a large wooden stick, knocked him unconscious while calling him a Vietnam fucking shit. That same day Wahlberg also attacked a second Vietnamese man named Hoa Johnny Trin, punching him in the face. He believed he had left his victim permanently blind in one eye. Trin was interviewed in December 2014 by the Daily Mail, who revealed that he had already lost that eye during the Vietnam War, and did not know the identity of his assailant prior to being contacted by the media. According to court documents regarding these crimes, when Wahlberg was arrested later that night and returned to the scene of the first assault, he stated to police officers, "You don't have to let him identify me. I'll tell you now that's the motherfucker whose sick head I split open." Investigators also noted that he made numerous unsolicited racial statements about gooks and slant-eyed gooks. For these crimes, Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder, pleaded guilty to assault and was sentenced to 2 years in Suffolk County Deer Island House of Correction. He ultimately served only 45 days of his sentence, but carries a permanent felony record. In another incident, the 21-year-old Wahlberg fractured the jaw of a neighbor in an unprovoked attack. Commenting in 2006 on his past crimes, Wahlberg has stated, "I did a lot of things that I regret, and I have certainly paid for my mistakes." He said the right thing to do would be to try to find the blinded man and make amends, and admitted he has not done so, but added that he was no longer burdened by guilt. "You have to go and ask for forgiveness, and it wasn't until I really started doing good and doing right by other people, as well as myself, that I really started to feel that guilt go away. So I don't have a problem going to sleep at night. I feel good when I wake up in the morning." After prison, he decided to improve his behavior. Of this he has said, "As soon as I began that life of crime, there was always a voice in my head telling me I was going to end up in jail. 3 of my brothers had done time. My sister went to prison so many times I lost count. Finally I was there, locked up with the kind of guys I'd always wanted to be like. Now I'd earned my stripes and I was just like them, and I realized it wasn't what I wanted at all. I'd ended up in the worst place I could possibly imagine, and I never wanted to go back. First of all, I had to learn to stay on the straight and narrow." Wahlberg first relied on the guidance of his parish priest to turn his back on crime. He told his street gang that he was leaving them and had some serious fights with them over it. On the 26th of November 2014, Wahlberg filed an application in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts requesting a full and unconditional pardon from his prior convictions. His pardon application engendered some controversy. According to the BBC, the debate about his suitability for a pardon is still ongoing, with the arguments on both sides being far-reaching and complex. One of Wahlberg's victims, Trin, pledged in December 2014 to make a written statement supporting a pardon. There is also an ongoing petition to the Massachusetts governor to deny Wahlberg's pardon. Career. Music. Wahlberg first came to fame as the younger brother of Donnie Wahlberg of the successful boy band New Kids on the Block. Mark, at age 13, was one of the group's original members, along with Donnie, Danny Wood, Jordan Knight, and Jonathan Knight. However, he soon quit after staying 3 months in the group. It was his departure that eventually allowed Joe McIntyre to take his place as the 5th member of the group. In 1990, Wahlberg began recording with dancers, rappers Scott Ross, aka Scotty G, Hector Barrows, Hector the Booty Inspector, Anthony Thomas, Ashley Ace, and Terry Yancey, DJT, as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, earning a hit with Good Vibrations from their debut album Music for the People. The record, produced by brother Donnie, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, later becoming certified as a platinum single. The second single, Wild Side, peaked at No. 5 on Billboard's Hot Singles Sales chart and at No. 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was certified as a gold single. Marky Mark opened for the New Kids on the Block during their last tour. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch also had their own video game, titled Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Make My Video, which despite the band's success was a huge flop. The second Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch LP, You Gotta Believe, was not as successful as the prior, yielding only a minor hit single in the title track. Wahlberg later collaborated with the late raga singer Prince Ital Joe on the album Life in the Streets. The project combined rap and reggae vocals with strong Eurodance music, as in the singles Happy People, German No. 1 hit United, Life in the Streets, and Babylon, courtesy of Frank Peterson and Alex Christensen as producers. In 1995, he released a single titled No Mercy in support of his friend Darius Michalczewski, whom he had befriended earlier in the 1990s. Darius also appears in the music video of the song. Wahlberg and Ital Joe released another album in 1995 for Ultraphonic Records. It was titled The Remix Album and was a remix album featuring remixed from the duo's previous album, Life in the Streets, as well as the Mark solo track, No Mercy. In 1996, Wahlberg released a solo single titled Hey DJ. This was followed by the release of another solo song titled Feel the Vibe in 1997. Another solo track titled Best of My Love was released the same year. All the solo tracks along with another song titled Here With Me were released on an album titled All Around the World in 1997 that also included the remixed versions of the songs. In 2000, he was also featured in the Black Label Society music video for Counterfeit God, as a stand-in for the band's bassist. Advertising. Wahlberg first displayed his physique in the Good Vibrations music video and most prominently in a series of underwear ads for Calvin Klein, 1992, shot by Air Brits, following it with Calvin Klein television advertisements. Magazine and television promotions would sometimes feature Mark exclusively or accompanied by model Kate Moss. Annie Leibovitz also shot a famous session of Mark Wahlberg in underwear for Vanity Fair's annual Hall of Fame issue. He also made a workout video titled The Marky Mark Workout. Form, Focus, Fitness, ISBN 1-55510-910-1. In 2012, he launched a line of sports nutrition supplements called Marked. Film. In 1993, Wahlberg made his acting debut in the TV film The Substitute. After this appearance he dropped the Marky Mark name. His big screen debut came the next year, with the Danny DeVito feature Renaissance Man. A basketball fanatic, he caught the attention of critics after appearing in The Basketball Diaries in 1995. Playing the role of Mickey alongside Leonardo DiCaprio, in a film adaptation of the Jim Carroll book of the same name. He had his first starring role in the 1996 James Foley thriller Fear. He has earned many positive reviews after successful movies like Boogie Nights, as Dirk Diggler, Three Kings, The Perfect Storm, and Four Brothers. During the early 2000s, Wahlberg appeared in remakes of 1960s films such as Planet of the Apes, The Truth About Charlie, remake of Charade, and The Italian Job. His performance in I Heart Huckabees was voted Best Supporting Performance of the Year in the 2004 Village Voice Critics poll. Wahlberg was originally cast as Linus Caldwell in Ocean's 11. Matt Damon played the role instead. The two later worked together in The Departed. Wahlberg was also considered for a role in the film Brokeback Mountain. It was originally intended to star Wahlberg and Joaquin Phoenix, with whom he appeared in the 2000 film The Yards, as Ennis Del Mar and Jack Twist, respectively, but both actors were uncomfortable with the film's sex scenes. The roles ultimately went to Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, both of whom were nominated for Academy Awards for their performances. Wahlberg starred in the American football drama Invincible, based on the true story of bartender Vince Papale. He was also the executive producer of the HBO series Entourage, 2004 to 2011, which was loosely based on his experiences in Hollywood. In 2006, he appeared as a foul-mouthed Massachusetts State Police detective in Martin Scorsese's critically acclaimed thriller, The Departed, which netted him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, a Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a Motion Picture, and an NSFC Best Supporting Actor award. Wahlberg has confirmed that he was approached to star in a sequel to The Departed, but it is still early in development. The sequel would reportedly revolve around the staff sergeant played by Wahlberg. To prepare for his role in Shooter, Wahlberg attended long-range shooting training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute near Pahrump, Nevada, and was able to hit a target at 1,100 yards on his second day, a feat which usually takes weeks to achieve. He had said in a number of interviews that he would retire at the age of 40 to concentrate on parenthood and professional golf. However, in early 2007 he indicated that the latter was no longer the plan as his golf game is horrible. He played Jack Salmon, a leading role in Peter Jackson's film of The Lovely Bones. In 2007, he starred opposite Joaquin Phoenix in We Own the Night, a movie about a family of police officers in New York City. He starred in M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening as Elliot Moore, which premiered in movie theaters on June 13, 2008. The same year, he played the title role in Max Payne, based on a video game of the same name. While promoting Max Payne, Mark became involved in a playful feud with the Lonely Island's Andy Samberg and threatened to crack that big fucking nose of his. Samberg had done an impression of Wahlberg in a Saturday Night Live sketch titled Mark Wahlberg Talks to Animals. Wahlberg later appeared in a follow-up sketch parodying the original one, Samberg's impression of Wahlberg, and his own threats to Samberg. In a February 2007 interview with Empire, updated in 2010, Mark Wahlberg stated that there might be a sequel to The Departed focusing on his character, Dignam, with Robert De Niro potentially playing a corrupt senator. He also stated that William Monahan was writing the script. The film is said to be on hold, because producer Brad Gray is now the head of Paramount Pictures and the film is a Warner Brothers project. In June 2010, Wahlberg and Monahan continued to express interest in a sequel, then said to be projected for 2012. Nothing further has been announced. Wahlberg later starred as Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell in the war film Lone Survivor, 2013, based on Luttrell's 2007 book of the same name. The film received strong commercial success and mostly positive reviews, and Wahlberg's performance was highly praised. In 2014, Wahlberg starred in the remake of The Gambler, the 1974 James Caan film that was loosely inspired by the Dostoevsky novella. In 2015 he starred opposite Will Ferrell in the comedy Daddy's Home sports franchise. In July 2013, Wahlberg became an equity interest of the Barbados Tridents cricket franchise. As a team within the Limassol Caribbean Premier League, Wahlberg became involved through colleague and personal connection Ajmal Khan, the founder of Limassol CPL. Following the announcement, Wahlberg stated, "I am a huge cricket fan now," he said. "I'm excited to be a part of the Limassol Caribbean Premier League because I know cricket is huge in the Caribbean and a rich part of the region's heritage," Wahlberg said in a statement. "Sports and entertainment are a powerful combination, and the LCPL will appeal to a huge audience worldwide." Restaurant franchise. He co-owns Wahlburgers with his brothers Donnie and Paul. It was Mark's idea to expand Paul's restaurant in Hingham, Massachusetts, into a full-fledged chain with a reality show to promote it. Rich Van Zura, formerly of Panera Bread, is the CEO. Television production. In 2014, Wahlberg was the producer of the reality show Breaking Boston, which was pulled off the air after its premiere had 311,000 viewers. He executive produced one episode of Wahlburgers, while co-starring in it. Charities. Actively involved in charity, Wahlberg established the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation in May 2001 for the purpose of raising and distributing funds to youth service and enrichment programs. Wahlberg is active with the Good Shepherd Center for Homeless Women and Children. Personal life. In the early 1990s, Wahlberg dated former child actress Soleil Moon Frye. Wahlberg has been in a relationship with model Rhea Durham since 2001, and they were married on August 1, 2009 at the Good Shepherd Catholic Church in Beverly Hills. The couple have 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. In a 2011 interview with USA Weekend, Wahlberg stated that he had taken his children to visit his old Dorchester neighborhood. "I want them to know that not everyone is as fortunate and how important it is to work hard and give back." Wahlberg's father father, a U.S. Army veteran of the Korean War, died on February 14, 2008. In 2012, Wahlberg was quoted in a magazine interview regarding what would have happened if he had flown aboard American Airlines Flight 11 on September 11, 2001. He had been booked on Flight 11, but his plans changed the day before the scheduled flight and he canceled his reservation. Wahlberg received public criticism for stating, "If I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did, and there would have been a lot of blood in that first-class cabin," and then me saying, "Okay, we're going to land somewhere safely, don't worry." Wahlberg issued a public apology after family members of those killed on the flight expressed outrage for his statements. He is a committed Roman Catholic, and attends church daily. Discography. Albums. Prince Ital Joe and Marky Mark. Solo release. Singles. Prince Ital Joe and Marky Mark. Solo.